Hey, this is Judith, and as always, I want to talk to you about twin flames. And of course, I would also love to hear back from you. And before I start with a message from your divine counterpart, I want to invite you once again to the webinar, upcoming free webinar on September 30 at 7 p.m. Central European Summertime. If you want to join this webinar where it is all about healing around communication between you and your twin flame, I would be very happy if you send me an email with Join Webinar September in the subject line of your email. You find the details in the description box below. The address is twinflame.essentials@gmail.com. So I would be happy to have you on this call, and you receive around 30 minutes of healing. And I hope that this is helpful to open up the channels between you and your twin flame and help you to be in union a little bit faster, and to get to know some tools as well that you might need along your way, along your divine path. So, but now there is communication going on today. We have a message for you from your divine counterpart. And what is this message? Well, that's loud and clear and not very long. Your divine counterpart loves you. Your divine counterpart adores you, appreciates you, and he wants you to live the life of your dreams. He wants you to be happy, fulfilled, everything. But your person does not see themselves in this picture, right? They don't feel that they are living up to your expectations, and they just don't feel that they fit in. And but they want the best for you. They want the best for you. So why not join them and you also wishing the best for yourself? And this is where you meet them. You meet them right there in your heart. So if you're reaching out on the outside and this is not getting you anywhere, then this can also be because you have to discover another way of communication, and this is, on the one hand, telepathy. So to communicate with your divine counterpart in this way, and not only with your divine counterpart, but also with the divine, also with other people. And you have to learn that. In some cases, you maybe can already do that, because we all came here with spiritual gifts, right? This is our true nature. So that's in fact nothing special, but we have to rediscover it for a large part. And so if we're not able to communicate in this way, then we have to learn it. And so our divine counterpart then refuses to communicate with us in the 3D until we have opened up to this heart-to-heart communication, as I call it. This heart-to-heart communication with our divine counterpart. And the other thing is that you have a lot of spiritual gifts, but maybe you do not have access to them, or not to all of them. So I think you experience this feeling your divine counterpart, right? There it begins, like where you say, well, I feel this other person, I feel their emotions, and sometimes you can also hear the internal voice. You can hear them talking, can hear what they are saying. This refers to a variety of spiritual gifts like clairsentience, clairvoyance, clairaudience, right? So, and there is also another thing that some people have an inner knowing, a very strong inner knowing. This is also a spiritual gift. Some can see the aura of people. They are communicating through colors, through some even through smell, right? Smelling things. So there is a variety of things that we have lost access to, and we have to rediscover this along the path. So there is along our path and in the universe there is never ever such a thing as no communication. Everything is communication, as I always say, and we should see that communication, learn where this communication is and appreciate it, right? So just as our divine counterpart appreciates us, loves and adores us, we should step up to love, appreciate the communication that we receive. And even if this means that there is no communication, because it's never ever no communication, it's always that we are our issues are mirrored to us, and our divine counterpart is really helping with this. So for example, in my journey, what I experienced when I would talk to my divine counterpart internally, and I would just say, I love you, then it would always come back, what do you mean by that? I would say, I love you, immediately would come back, what do you mean by that? This went on for years, really for years, until I myself got clear around what true love really was, and that true love is this unconditional love, and that this is vibrating at a very high level. I will talk about this another time. And so only when I got clear about what love is, and I was really able to come from a place of love, then this changed. And my love was received, right? So yeah, it's very interesting to have those different layers and different channels of communication, and then also see what comes after the other. That maybe for me, for example, it was that I was clear sentient in the beginning. I was nothing, and then clear sentient, and also kind of clear knowing. This is my twin flame. It has this inner sense of strong knowing, but we are both not very visual until now. Maybe this is also developing, right? Because I believe that we all have access, maybe not to the same degree, but all of those gifts, we have access to all of those gifts, in fact. So it's also nice to see how this unfolds along the way. Be prepared for this, right, to happen. So yeah, and it's also important to point out that everything that happens in your union is always happening now. So when you want, or when you are missing more communication in your twin flame connection, then it's not a good idea to look for this in the future, right? But to always communicate from the now moment. Where is communication in the now moment? And communication is there, right? Just start to communicate. You can start the communication. As I already suggested, even in the 3D, if you feel inspired, if you get an inspiration, an impulse, and you take inspired action in the 3D, this is also never wrong. It's always good to do that. but also like the telepathy. And communication is never one way. So see what you receive. What is your divine counterpart communicating to you? And this is just through the same channels that the divine is communicating to you, right? It's basically everything that you see around you, and you will know what it is because you have your own signs. For some it's a song, for some it's the name, for some it's certain numbers, like the birthday, for example. That you see this on the number plates, or I don't know what this is called in English, of the cars. So there are different ways of communicating to us, and we should also watch out for this communication and be open for this, and also start communication, right? Internal communication, telepathy. And telepathy can be like we're talking to our divine masculine or divine feminine, like our divine counterpart, that we have a conversation. This is also then the more clairaudient we are, the more we can start to engage in a conversation with our counterpart. But we could also communicate through images, sending feelings. So this is happening in the now moment. I always want to encourage you not to put the things that you commit to, your commitment to your union is always in the now moment. Yeah, and then it unfolds, and you take one step after the other. The divine will show you the way, what you need to resolve, what steps you need to take. But your commitment and your union, this is now. This is not some day in the future, some fairy tale happening in many years away from now. No, this is your point of power, is always now. Choose your union. Commit to your union in this very moment and start communication. Communicate, just do it. Communication is always there. So it would be a good idea to create around communication. Okay, so once again, I invite you to join the webinar. I would be so happy to have you. Send me an email if you want to be part of that. And we do healing and we see what happens. I wish you a great day wherever you are on the planet. Let's light up the twin flame grid. I love you. Take care.